ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪ ਸਭ ਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਮੇਰਾ ਸਾਥ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਫਾਰਮਾਸਿਸਟ ਹਨ, UBC ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਉਂਦੇ ਵੀ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਹੱਤਵਪੂਰਨ ਸਿਹਤ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਾ ਰਹੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਦੇਖਣ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਉਂ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਏਜ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਤਾਂ ਸਮੱਸਿਆ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਡਾਈਜੈਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ। ਬਲੋਟਿੰਗ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ, ਡਕਾਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਖਾਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਪੂਰਾ ਹਜ਼ਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਆਪਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ? ਪਹਿਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੀ ਆਪਸ਼ਨਸ ਨੇ, ਆਓ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ ਤੋਂ। Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Harpreet.
Thank you. So today we would like to know from you, as we age, it becomes difficult to digest. You know, bloating is there, and there are many other issues which you face. You are irritated. You become irritated also once your food is not digested well. It becomes a big issue for you. So, why does this first of all happen, and what are the remedies for this?
Okay. The most common reason. So what do we see when someone can't digest food?
Mm-hmm.
So the easy foods are like, the carbohydrates,
Right.
some of the oils. The harder foods for us to digest is protein.
Right.
So what do we see in aging people? What do we see in sick people or people who have cancer?
Mm-hmm.
They're unable to digest the protein.
Right.
Number one reason is, first of all, we have our stomach, which is normally acid.
Mm-hmm.
Highly acid. It breaks down the protein so that when it goes to the next stage, our bowels, that's where it's basic and it's absorbed in the bowel.
Right.
But if we don't have enough acid in our stomach to break down the protein molecules so that our bowel can snip it and cut it up into individual amino acids,
Mm-hmm.
which is the basic building block of our body.
Right.
So we can build new protein and
Mm-hmm.
new cells. Then you have a problem. And then people lose muscle mass because the body can use the current protein,
Right.
Which we have in our muscles, in our skin. Every cell in our body is made with protein.
Right.
We can recycle it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a slow process. Doesn't happen overnight. If you
Mm-hmm.
stop eating protein, you're still here. You got muscles. You got energy. You can do stuff.
Right.
But for years, as you are, slowly reducing the acid in your stomach, now there's many, many drugs that people, especially seniors, go on. They say, oh, they got heartburn.
Mm.
So the doctor will give you a drug called a PPI. So lansoprazole, omeprazole, Nexium, people know it by. These are very powerful drugs, and now they're coming in front of the counter,
Mm-hmm.
like Losec, you can buy in Canada and in the US, over the counter.
Okay.
These are very strong drugs that reduce our acid in our stomach by 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the ones we have on the counter today, Zantac and things like that,
Yeah.
that reduces the acid in your stomach by about 20%, so not quite
Okay.
as bad.
Right.
That's for heartburn.
Mm-hmm.
If you reduce your stomach acid that badly, then you're not going to digest your food properly. So what happens lower down? One, instead of being able to be broken down and absorbs, it can't be. So it sits there and it can literally rot, and you may have, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. You have a lot more gas. You have diarrhea. You may have constipation, all because the acid bath in your stomach isn't at the right level.
Right.
So what do you do with it? So if you're a senior and you're noticing, and the other thing that happens, of course, you can get wrinkles.
Yeah.
So what happens? Our skin, and underneath is collagen,
Right.
is made with protein. If you lack the protein, the body will take it from your skin and put it on your inner organs, because
Right.
that's the most important. It makes a decision. Well, your skin will wrinkle, too bad. We're going to save the heart muscle. We're going to save the liver. We're going to save your kidneys. They need the protein more than your skin does, so you can wrinkle up.
Right.
This is a scientific discovery. Way back in the 90s, there was an Italian doctor. I've spoken to the man,
Okay.
telling me about his discovery, looking that for seriously sick children, their biggest problem was their inability to absorb food.
Okay.
So this happens at any age, right? But when you're really sick, whether you're young or old, it's a very serious problem. We
Right.
need protein. And they couldn't eat it because of their disease. So he made this particular ratio of amino acids. So the basic building blocks of protein are called amino acids.
Right.
There's 8 essential ones here.
Okay.
They're in a particular ratio, and this has this design because of his research. He's been granted a patent on it,
Okay.
so that this is easily absorbed. 99% of this
Okay.
is absorbed into our body. Only 1% ends up in the toilet, okay?
Right. Okay.
Whereas typically if you're a vegetarian and you eat plant-based foods,
Right.
17 to 18% of that food that you eat is changed into usable protein
Okay.
in our body. That means
Rest
83% ends up in the toilet because
Right.
it couldn't be used. Okay? So this is amazingly 20 times more effective.
Right.
So if you take 5 to 10 grams a day, this is the recommended dose, which is 5 tablets. Each tablet is 1 gram, and it's only made of the pure product. There's no fillers into it.
Okay.
Made into a little tablet. You will gain the equivalent, like of almost 4 to 5 times. Well, over 5 times this.
Right.
So it's 25 grams of protein, which is, you know, an ounce of protein
Right.
that you normally have to eat just to get 5 grams of active protein. So that
Because
makes a big difference.
Especially the vegetarians, they do not get that quantity of protein which they ought to have every day.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so they can have, you know, again, muscle wasting, and yes, you're thin,
Right.
but then you're lacking the ability to build muscle. Now, one of the things that happens, of course, as we age, is that we notice this muscle wasting. It doesn't have to happen if you
Right.
get enough protein. And of course, doing some exercise, moving your body, even, you know, walking, simple
Right.
as walking, or lifting a can of peas over your head if you're in your, you know, your kitchen. Or for women, lift the can of peas up and down and move your arms. You need protein, though, to keep your muscle and build new muscle.
Right.
So this is actually, it's called anabolic.
Okay.
You've heard of anabolic steroids
Yeah.
making muscle? Well, this helps you make new muscle.
But this is natural.
It's all natural. It's
Yeah.
all naturally occurring.
Right.
This has helped athletes, and it's helped extremely sick people. So athletes have taken this
Okay.
and build new muscle mass because
Right.
it's 99% absorbed. We can now build new muscle. You've given the body the raw material to
Right.
build new muscle. So if you exercise and just, that means move your body,
Right.
you will build up new muscle. If you're wasting away because of disease such as, you know, cancer, which, you know, between the drugs, it destroys your ability of your stomach and gut to absorb, you'll still be able to absorb this, and you will build new muscle.
Right.
There's I read a testimonial. They've been having it in Europe for years, and I got a book from Europe on how doctors are using this in their practice in Europe. And there was one story of an 80-year-old lady who said, for the first time in, you know, 10 or 15 years, my wrinkles are starting to disappear because she had enough protein to build new tissue. It could be as simple as that.
Right. So it's simple. If you're not being able to have the required quantity of proteins in your daily diet, you ought to have those kind of supplements which help you. And not only digestive issues can be tackled with this, but your facial, like you said, about wrinkles and other mass building bone issues can also be tackled.
You can have more energy in your life because you all of a sudden the muscles work. Instead of wasting away
Right.
and making it very difficult to move, you build new muscles, and
Right.
now you can easily move.
Right. Thank you very much for coming over here and talking to us on this issue. Thank you.
You're welcome.
ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਿਉਂ-ਜਿਉਂ ਉਮਰ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡਾ ਮਸਲ ਮਾਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਘਟਦਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਮਸਲ ਮਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਸਪਲੀਮੈਂਟਸ ਨੇ। ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੀਟ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਵੈਜੀਟੇਰੀਅਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਹੋਰ ਦਾਲਾਂ ਸਬਜ਼ੀਆਂ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਪਰ ਜਿਉਂ-ਜਿਉਂ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਬਦੀਲੀ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਲੈਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ। ਉਸ ਕਾਰਨ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਡਾਈਜੈਸਟਿਵ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਰਿੰਕਲਸ ਛੇਤੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਮਸਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਘਟਦੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ, ਸਰੀਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਟੀਗ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੂਰੀ ਤੰਦਰੁਸਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਹੈਗੀ। ਉਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਖਾਣਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ, ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਨਾਲ ਐਲਨ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਇਟਲੀ ਦੇ ਇਹ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਪੇਟੈਂਟਡ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਟੀਨਸ ਅਬਜ਼ੌਰਬ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ। ਆਮ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਅਸੀਂ ਖਾਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਉਹ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਤਾਂ ਟੋਇਲਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਨਿਕਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਬਜ਼ੌਰਪਸ਼ਨ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਐਸੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਨੀਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬਾਡੀ ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਮਸਲ ਮਾਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਡਾਈਜੈਸਟਿਵ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਨੇ, ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸੋਲਵ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕੰਸਲਟੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਮਾਰਕ ਫਾਰਮੇਸੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਿ 120th ਸਟਰੀਟ ਅਤੇ 80th ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨਰ 'ਤੇ ਹੈ। ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਐਲਨ ਗਲੈਸਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।